Hello, BookTube. Came across a great discussion video the other day, and I wanted to waffle on about it a bit myself because it's a subject that's at the heart of all that we do here. I found it on Harriet Rosie's channel, and she's a booktuber. She's really good, and her video was called "What Makes a Good Booktuber," and in her video she adapted parameters that she saw on a beauty channel. Jen Luvs Reviews is the name of the beauty channel, and Jen at Jen Luvs Reviews has it's when you shift out of BookTube and look at the numbers, you start to realize what a quaint little pond we are, except for a couple of standout exceptions. Jen Luvs Reviews is a small BookTube channel, and she has 94,000 subscribers, and she's tiny. And what she did on her original video was to look at some of the much bigger beauty channels. We're talking people with multiple millions of subscribers. And what she did was she analyzed their videos in order to boil them down and sort of reverse engineer them to find out what qualities do they have in common. Now, I had never heard of Jen Luvs Reviews channel, of course, before. I know this will shock you, but I'm not a habitué of beauty channels because that ship has sailed. But I was impressed. I loved Harriet Rosie's adaptation of it, but I was surprised to be impressed by Jen Luvs Reviews. She did a really good job at stepping back personally from the videos that she's in the game of beauty videos, but she stepped back in order to analyze and reverse engineer what was going on in those videos. And she makes a point at the beginning, the middle, and the end of her video that this does not mean if you do these things you'll have millions of subscribers. It just means that these things are in common among the ones who do, with a few exceptions that she notes. And her video didn't tempt me to go and watch any beauty videos, but I may very well subscribe to her just because I like the way her mind works. But she broke it down into 5 categories of what these people are doing the same. And then Harriet Rosie adapted the 5 categories to BookTube, which was fascinating and incredibly thought-provoking because of how little they change. You would think at first that there wouldn't be any adaptation between beauty channel videos and BookTube. But no, Harriet Rosie makes a lot of really great points. And the first of those qualities is time. What you need is time. You need time to make videos, plan them, script them, film them, upload them, edit them. And if Jen's point was that if you don't have that time, you're at a disadvantage. And Harriet made the point that when you adapt that to BookTube, you add one more burden of time, which is the actual reading of the books. It's not just the production. You also have to read the books, and it boils up. It builds up to a huge amount of time. It's a large investment of time. Of course, the whole time I was watching these videos and looking at these categories, I was thinking of my own channel, and it underscored for me more than anything has recently what a weird channel this is. I know I say that from time to time. I don't understand really this channel at all. I don't understand why, as I've said many times, I don't understand why it doesn't have 50 subscribers. Since I'm a weird variation or a complete exception to almost all of these categories, as you're going to see. But for instance, time, I don't script my videos. I don't edit my videos. I don't use any kind of software. I just upload it directly to YouTube. So for me, and reading is all I do when I'm not filming or mopping up puppy pee. That's all I'm doing is reading. So, but I thought that was fascinating, and I've seen it before. I've commented on it before in BookTube because almost all the rest of you have jobs, you have kids, you have commutes, you have school. Vast amounts of other time commitments. It makes me all the more impressed that you can do anything at all. That you can upload. I mean, I know I jokingly whine that I wish that all of my I have like 300 favorite booktubers, and I wish you'd all make videos every day. I joke about that all the time, but I actually am, watching these videos, I became all the more impressed that you can do it at all. with all those other demands on your time. I'd go to pieces. The second thing is money. And Jen Luvs Reviews said, you need equipment. You're in a visual medium, so you need a good camera, you need a pretty background, you need nice lights, you need yourself to be presentable, and also when you're starting out in the beauty business, you need to buy lots of products, because when you don't have thousands and thousands of subscribers, manufacturers aren't sending you samples usually, and Harriet Rosie transferred that to BookTube, and a lot of it still applies. That most BookTubers need equipment, they need special lights. Those things aren't cheap. They need books. Books are not cheap. And Harriet makes the point that in book hauls, for instance, are a very popular kind of video, but library hauls are not. Book backgrounds are very popular in BookTube videos, but book backgrounds have to look good, so they can't be ratty and dog-eared with cracked spines and all. And those things start to push the demand towards money, towards expense. Again, this doesn't really apply at my channel, because I don't have a camera. I wouldn't buy one in a million years. I don't have any kind of special lights, or haven't even sprung for a microphone, because it sounded like a technical nightmare. Not that you need much to be a technical nightmare in my world, but it's the same thing with books. I'm a professional book reviewer, so I get lots of books in the mail, and I have the Brattle Bookshop, a great used bookstore here in Boston that not only has enormous turnover, but that has enormous turnover of new-looking books, and sometimes actual new books. So, and if you're living in small-town Arkansas, you're not going to have that. You're probably not going to have access to the used bookstores. Used bookstores have been closing like the plague in the last 10 years. So you're probably not going to have access to that, and that's going to lead you straight to Book Depository and getting boxes in the mail that you really shouldn't spend the money on, and all that sort of thing. It's a very active consideration, money, even on BookTube, even when we say it's not. And the third one is talent. Jen Luvs Reviews said you need a camera personality. This is, again, a visual medium, so you need to be comfortable in front of a camera. And not just comfortable, you need to exert charisma. You need to be watchable, not just audible. And for Jen Luvs Reviews, she said not only do you need on-camera charisma, a personality, a presence, but you also, in terms of talent, need to be able to demonstrate that you know what you're doing. you have to demonstrate your makeup skills regularly and convincingly in order to build a baseline of trust that will then grow your channel. And of course, you don't need to demonstrate makeup skills on BookTube. Thank God. But Harriet Rosie said that she transferred that to a thing that you need to demonstrate on BookTube is critical reading. Is not just that you love reading, but that you're engaged with it, that you have something to say about it. She makes a point that a lot of the most popular booktubers have been dinged repeatedly by critics for not being critical, for being, sort of fangirlish, vapid, where they're mainly just summarizing the plot, sometimes even doing sponsored videos so that there's no critical thought at all. And that is, you still need the charisma part of this in her transposition to BookTube, but the makeup skills become book skills, basically book skills. How skilled are you with books? When it comes time for you to talk about, Far From the Madding Crowd, can you do it in a way that your readers are going to find interesting, where you're not going to be chasing it off into the weeds? I thought that was fascinating. Talent as a prerequisite for being a good booktuber. Then item number 4, more predictable on Jen's channel, is beauty. And she points out, you got to be good looking. she points out, and so does Harriet Rosie, has been a fan of beauty channels herself, and they both point out that what we all know anyway, which is that if you're good looking, if you're really good looking, you have a leg up on people who aren't good looking for anything in life, for any reason. in life. It's a weird thing, but it works. I've noticed it all along. I noticed it even before I knew what it was. That really good looking, for instance, teenagers tend to have more confidence. They have the confidence that comes from having an acceptance extended to them that they don't have to earn, even when it's unconsciously done. And in the world of beauty channels, of course, if you look like me, you're not going to get even 1,000 subscribers if you're talking about beauty tips. You have to be beautiful to start off with. And at first, this one, when I watched the original video, I thought, oh, well, okay. Harriet Rosie might have a point with the rest of these, but there's no way that she can transfer that to BookTube. If there's one place, aside from maybe gaming, if there's one place on YouTube where that isn't an active consideration, it's got to be BookTube. But no, no. She started talking about it and said, I watch BookTube newbie tags. I make a point. She makes a point of watching BookTube newbie tags, and she's noticed, and dang if she isn't right, that a lot of times the newbies who are racking up the subscriptions fastest and who are getting comments and feedback and whatnot fastest are the best looking newbies. The implications of that are a little alarming when you think about it in terms of BookTube. Of course, Jen Luvs Reviews and also Harriet Rosie both threw the sop in of saying, well, there's also inner beauty. Neither one of them sounded very convinced when they said it, but I think it is something. I have to think it is something, or I would cash it in right now. The only reason I'm not wearing a burlap sack over my head when I make my videos is because I'm absolutely relying on the fact that maybe not beauty, but that's an inner attractiveness, that there can be such a thing, that you can come to like spending time with someone on camera, even if they have smallpox scars from 1872. I have to believe that's true. Don't take that away from me. Then the fifth category is a little nebulous. It's connections. Jen Luvs Reviews was talking about connections with not only with your audience, but with the industry and with other beauty booktubers. How are you connected with them? Are they collabing with you? Do they know you? Are you influencing styles or conversations? And of course, that transfers directly. Harriet Rosie transfers that directly to BookTuber with your connections to other booktubers. She mentions that some of the very popular booktubers are cliquish and are constantly on each other's videos and collabing with each other and visiting each other. And that's absolutely true. And she asked the question, do you need to be an extrovert to be on BookTube? And of course, the answer is no, because BookTube is positively lousy with introverts. Can't swing a dead cat without hitting somebody who's a little tongue-tied in general conversation. That's very mystifying to me. But they make great videos, and that's the whole point. So Harriet Rosie uses the term, the difference between people who make connections and people who, quote unquote, make a video and walk away. And she stresses that you can do that. It's a valid way of doing all of this, is to make a video and walk away, no interaction. But that with BookTube we tend to prize more the active community. And that led Harriet Rosie to elaborate on a few variations for BookTube. And one of those was love of community, was not just doing it to hear the sound of your own voice, but also being in the comments field, being on Voxer or anything like that, and connecting with people. And the same thing, the last of her BookTube extrapolations was to my mind goes hand in hand with that, which is that it's ideal if you make your BookTube channel as a goal in and of itself. If you're making your BookTube channel as a stepping stone to something else, like AdSense money or free books in the mail from publishers, it's going to be visible. It's going to be obvious that that's what you're doing, and it's off-putting. But the first two of her extrapolations, the very first one she said, and she admits that it seems strange to say it, is a love of reading. And I think she's absolutely right. She describes a phenomenon I think we've probably all seen, where somebody starts a BookTube channel and quickly realizes, whether they admit it or not, that a BookTube channel relies on a greater love of reading than they actually have. And their upload frequency drops, and finally their channel either disappears or changes completely. And that her point being that in order to be a good booktuber, you probably need a die-hard love of books. And then the other one of the 4 extrapolations that she mentions was creativity. She said that what she likes to see, she likes to get the feeling that someone's booktube channel is an outlet for their creativity. And it was once again mystifying to Steve. I had a conversation on this very subject just the other day with the international operative known only as the Nightingale, who was also banging on about creativity and innovation. Fortunately, Harriet Rosie makes the point that the channels that just do the same thing over and over again, series discussion halls, tags, that sort of thing. There's nothing wrong with that, fortunately, because I don't do skits. I'm not jumping all around on camera. But that she likes to get the sense that you're not just punching a clock, that you're pouring some imagination into what you're doing. I again wondered how this applied to me. I think I pour most of my imagination into what I talk about and the way I talk about it, rather than the gimmick of any particular video. Although I'm not against gimmicks. I'm not, provided I have very limited technical ability. So one of the gimmicks that I would like to do more of is actual outdoor vlogging, walking around while I talk about books, even vlogging the Brattle. I've never actually done that. I've done video of myself at the Brattle, but I've never vlogged as I actually go through a cart book by book. What a thrill that would be. But anyway, I wanted to... Somebody has to get up. So I'll wrap this up. As I'm getting that look. And the next thing after the look is a very gentle paw on the arm. So I won't let it get that far. But I wanted to wrap it up and just throw it out there for the rest of you to maybe make discussions on your own. I'd love to see videos about what makes a good booktuber. What do you think of these 5 things? These 5 essentials that Harriet Rosie had the inspired idea to import from the beauty video world, where only Adam at Memento Mori ever goes there. Such a glamour puss. But I would love to hear it. So if you feel like making a response video on what, in your opinion, makes a good booktuber, I'll be the first to watch it and comment with snark. But anyway, we're going to wrap this up for now because we've got a bathroom trip to make. But I'll see you soon. Thank you, BookTube.